Hi, my name is Rebecca. Welcome to my very new podcast from sunny New Zealand, The Holistic Health Detective. So, this podcast is just some background of my journey in the health industry and how I came across the knowledge that I have and why I want to spread it broadly. All right, so I've been a naturopath for about 26 years as of 2024. And I founded a holistic medical centre in Auckland, New Zealand, which I ran for 13 years. And that was a very unique model. And we had GPs, family doctors, and I was a naturopath there. And we had other naturopaths and nurses and what have you. We had longer consults than your average, so 30, 40-minute consults, sometimes even an hour. Though that generally wasn't too common. And it was a very successful model, actually. It was unique and very, very needed in the society at the time. And the way I came about the idea for this holistic medical centre was that I was working in a integrative or multidisciplinary medical centre where all of the health providers, practitioners, therapists, they all worked independently. So they did their own thing. There was no central file for the patient. There was no coordination. And sometimes, as you would expect, the advice between different therapists or practitioners or medical professionals would differ. And I had a woman come to me. She wasn't my patient. And she came to me and she said, "So if I get advice from my doctor and it differs from the advice I get from my naturopath, who do you think I should follow?" And I said, "Well, your doctor. There's more background, more knowledge, more experience, and more understanding of red flags there." And she said, "Well, actually, I trust my naturopath more because my naturopath has more time for me." And I kind of surprised at that. And I thought, well, I'm sure doctors would love more time with their patients to be more thorough. It's not so much fun to do a 7, 10, 12-minute consultation several times a day, many times a day. But that's where that's where it came about. And I thought, gosh, it would be great if we all of these people could work together. There was one file for the patient, not many, and work in the best interest of the patient, with the patient kind of understanding and being kind of part of their own health journey. So what I did is I purchased a practice that was closing down, and I reopened it in a nearby location in Auckland, sort of near central Auckland, and it was great. We built it up to quite a few thousand patients. We had many thousands of consultations over those years. We had patients in Auckland. We had patients that would come in from all around New Zealand, and even some patients that flew in from Australia to come see us. So that was really good. And I learned quite some key lessons over that time that were really important. One is stick to one paradigm. So with the health industry, you have such things as traditional Chinese medicine, which has its own diagnostic paradigm and treatment paradigm that comes out of that diagnostic paradigm. So it can't really be mixed with traditional medicine. So if you do blood tests and investigations and ultrasounds, they don't align with the paradigm of traditional Chinese medicine and the Indian traditional health system called Ayurveda. So they have also their own diagnostic paradigm. These paradigms are very effective, but not if you mix them. But it just causes confusion. So when people would come in and said, "Oh, I've been already diagnosed through the Ayurvedic system," that doesn't fit inside of the model that we were doing, which was really just nutritional biochemistry with medicine, thorough diagnostics, blood tests, urine tests, that kind of thing. So that made us very effective from the point of view as we really focused all the way from the case take to the diagnosis to the treatment. It really followed through really well. The other thing I learned was there is a huge difference in the quality of supplements. So we had patients bring in supplements that they were taking so we could review and see, And that was part of the function that I did. So I would go from room to room as a naturopath in the consultations. The doctor was a clinical lead, and then I would come in and I would they would say, "This is Joe. He's got irritable bowel and migraines, and he can't sleep very well. And so this is where we're going to go. We might do a referral at some point to a specialist." And then I would add, maybe we could check this and this and this, and I would recommend that what we would do for the first visit. And then they would come back with their blood results, which usually took about 2 weeks, and then we would go a more thorough sort of, this is the direction we're going. So that was the kind of the sort of basic model. We did do intravenous nutrition latterly down in the last 5-6 years there. So that was a very nice adjunct. But I did learn when these people bought in their supplements that there were many, many thousands and thousands of dollars being spent for no improvement. And that didn't make sense to me, because nutrients do help the body functions. The biochemistry, the function of the body is based on nutrients. So I started looking really closely at these supplements and what was in them, and what have you, and what people were taking them for and what they actually needed, and it was an eye-opener. So I became quite interested in really high quality supplements with high doses, therapeutic amounts, not just loads of things, put into one supplement to make it look snazzy, but like really actually very, very good quality stuff. And it was very, very successful approach as well, because people got better. And they got better, and then they were like, yeah, I want to take that particular supplement. So it was pretty simple. It was a pretty simple model, but very effective. Now, the other, and almost you could say the most important thing I learned, the 3 main things, was don't skip the basics. And often the fundamentals were missed, and in favor of really unnecessary complexity. For example, a patient would come along, this is very common actually, a woman would come along very tired, maybe in her 40s, and she's very, very tired, having spent, a few thousand on supplements, and no better, and getting into all kinds of complexities, say heavy metal toxicity and detoxification and liver and bowel and stuff, and then just a really good investigation uncovers a iron deficiency that's been there for many, many years. And nothing you do is going to make a woman feel better if she's iron deficient. So when we started helping people, really the basics were the most important. And, is there a basic potassium deficiency rather than, an adrenal fatigue, because if you have low potassium, then you feel very tired. Is there just a problem sleeping? Like the problem is the vitamin D is significantly low and they need more magnesium to sleep, and that would handle the energy. There's, just very, really getting all the basics in and then seeing what's left over. And what I discovered over time is generally, very seldom. Sometimes you get there's one solution, like a one-hit wonder type of thing. And I've done some videos on that. Where it's been a significantly complex thing and there's literally been one thing to sort of sort it all out. Not that common. Normally there's like 1 or 2 major things and 1 or 2 minor things, and you fix all those up and the person's well on their way and feeling good. So as the doctors got more trained as having me in the room, and they learnt about the different conditions and what I would recommend, I had a little bit more time. And from there, what I started doing is calling people up and saying, well, are you better? Because from my viewpoint, or my point of view, is that when someone comes to their clinic, they're looking for a solution. That's what they're paying their money for. They want to have their, irritable bowel or their hormonal problems sorted out. They're not sort of paying for time. So if we did a visit and another visit and the person wasn't any better, I would get on the phone and I'd say, okay, cool. And we would do a bit more work. And so we would maybe organise more blood tests. We would do this, that, until we can kind of find out, why is this person not getting better? And that's where this detective thing came in. So it was absolutely wonderful. It was rewarding from the point of view of people got better, but they really appreciated the fact that I was interested in them being well, as were all the doctors and nurses at the clinic. Very interested. They wanted people to feel well and better. That's why we're all there. In fact, a great story. One of the doctors I worked with came to me and she said, I've been a GP for 20 years and I can honestly say, hand on heart, I've never cured anybody. And today I cured a person of 2 chronic conditions, and super simple. And so that was pretty exciting, chronic sinus and chronic thrush. So those 2 things, and the person was pretty happy. And she said, I just did what you said, and it was amazing. So that's the background. That's where I come from. And so I'm here to basically pass on all that information and really demystify. I know Dr. Google can be very confusing, and people there's so many conflicting opinions, and it all looks like it's kosher, but it all sort of seems to conflict, and it seems enormously complex. And yes, there is complexities to nutritional biochemistry, but solutions are not complex. They can, as long as you understand the biochemistry and you can kind of put that data together. And that's what I want to do. I want to help you learn about understanding health and how to evaluate the quality of supplements, what you do need, what you don't need, and makes health like a fun thing rather than, serious. So thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to sharing this journey and sharing the information that I've learnt through the years. And we'll be back soon with the next installment. Bye for now.